Hi, my name is Dr. Alka. I'm an educational psychologist, and today we are going to talk about a topic of interest, an activity-based class. How to keep kinesthetic movement active within the four walls of a classroom to make class an interesting place and learning an effective and easy way for students. Before we move on, it is important to understand three major questions. First, what are various learning styles and intelligence style, which determines how the students learn? Second, the benefit of utilizing kinesthetic movements in the classroom. Third, the various ways to use these kinesthetic movements into different subjects. Now, what are the various learning types? WAC analysis is used by most of the schools today. Visual learner, kinesthetic learner, or an auditory learner. WAC analysis is used by schools very commonly today. V stands for visual, A for auditory, and K for kinesthetic. Learning style is actually a methodology by which a student receives the information, hold the information, and recall the information. So how the learning takes place. Intelligences. In 1983, Howard Gardner introduced 8 types of intelligence. Before that, it was often considered intelligence is nothing but a ratio of a mental age and the chronological age of the child. If the mental age is higher than the chronological age, the child is very intelligent. But the psychometric tests use only 2 ways to assess the mental age, either linguistic or logical. But what about the other smart children? Howard Gardner very clearly introduced there are 8 types of intelligences, and each one is equally significant. Let's understand these 8 types, because you will find learners in your classroom pertaining to any one of these areas. First, the child who's smart in intrapersonal skills. He knows himself, his own emotions, his traits very well. The children who are smart interpersonal, they understand people very well. They're very communicative and express their thoughts into words very well when it concerns to others. Logic smart and linguistic smart are those people. Logic means children who are good with numbers and good with logical reasoning. Linguistic smart are the children who find using language orally or written confidently. Music smart have a different ear to sound, rhythm, and put that all together, understand it the best way. Kinesthetic children are the one who can use their body and mind coordination and hand and mind coordination to the best. Naturalistic smart child are those kids who are very comfortable with the surroundings around them and understand it to the best. Now let's try understanding how all this connects to kinesthetic movements in a regular classroom. There are 2 forms of kinesthetic movements. One, unrelated, and the second one is purposeful. As the name suggests, unrelated movements are the one which has no direct connection with the subject being taught in the class. Say, for example, the teacher asks the students to stand and clap, or take a ball and ask to throw it on each other, and before throwing it to the other one, squeeze it a bit. These kind of exercises are very good for the jumping jacks because it gets them to settle their blood out. They feel very comfortable when they get a little movement in between the various topics being taught during the one lesson. But the other one, which is a purposeful movement, also stands for a very big significance. Say for example, a teacher in a maths class who's teaching a concept of a perimeter may ask the students to take a tape, masking tape, and draw the shapes on the classroom floor and make students walk on those tape lines to assess the perimeter of that particular shape. There can be various creative ways to introduce these concepts in the class. Earlier traditional teaching and learning situation, it was noticed it used to be one-way communication. 80% of the time it would only be given by a teacher. A child will get monotonous listening and at times watching the board alone or taking down the notes. Activity-based classes have significantly proved that learning is faster, better, and stays longer in the mind of a child. Researchers have clearly shown that activity-based classes improve socialization of students. Because of these classes, students show better comprehension, better engagement, better results, and better emotional intelligence. So benefit of these classes are plenty. Students with cognitive disabilities like ADD or ADHD enjoy activity-based learning. Often, it is misunderstood that kinesthetic movement classes are good for students who are kinesthetic intelligence smart. Not really. Absolutely, you would be surprised to see that these classes are good for that matter, anyone. Say for example, a child with a cognitive disability. That means we're talking about the students with ADD and ADHD. They love activity-based classes because they get a little relief from the monotony, get up and get engaged. Not only that, the students who are having some kinds of emotional blocks, they get a chance to socialize and make friends. So activity-based learning are good for any subject and any student on campus. Let us take example of how can we use activity-based learning in various classrooms. If a teacher is teaching a concept of social studies, say for example various cultures and the costumes, then certainly the child can be involved by dressing up in a different costume, say sari for India, for Mexican umros, or for Japanese kimonos. The fact remains that students love bringing dresses and trying them on, and they remember the content easy and faster. A teacher who's teaching a maths class can use various methods. Say for example, the junior students, one can always assign them various numbers, teaching a concept of sequencing, and then jumble up the class and let them arrange themselves in the right sequence. Concept of bigger than and smaller than can also be taught the similar fashion. Even let's take an example of teaching a table of 9. Simple. Take your all fingers and close and count the numbers on both the sides. 9 ones are 9. 5 and 4 makes it 9. 9 twos are 1 is this side and 8 fingers here 18. 9 threes are 2 fingers here and 7 makes it 27. 4s are 36. 5 and 1, 6. Let's take 5s are 4 and 5, 45. 6s are 5 and 4, 54. 7s are 6 and 3, 63. 8s are 5, 6, 7 and 2, 72. 9s are 81 and 10s is 90. Now this makes learning enjoyable as well as learning is faster and stays in the mind of a child for a longer period. Now let's talk about, in a science class where the little ones are learning the body parts, a poem like head, shoulders, knees and toes, head, shoulder, and touching each part of the body and then calling out the name makes learning so much of fun. So come on the teachers, use your creativity and make your classes activity based. Wish you good luck.